Good day, and good morning, and good evening, and good night, and welcome to Washington. There we go. So, I've got big things going on. Since the PilotEdge group flight took us deep into Washington, I thought I might very well go all the way. Good morning, Rob. So, the plan, let's see if I can bring it up, is not that. How weird. Let's see if I can make that show the correct thing. I wanted to show that. My ForeFlight. So, I'm currently at Olympia in Washington, and I'm going to explore a bunch of weird airfields that are very close together. So it's going to be basically taking off and go land immediately. So there's some of them are charted. Many of them are not. So just outside of the Delta airspace of Olympia, there's Bear Valley. And there are 3 airfields here right immediately. There's one here that is not charted, Elma. And there's one here called MY. And this one is D and something, D and F Airpark, I think. Last time I flew over it, it looked like it was on the overgrown side, but I'm gonna have a look. And then there's a very scary one here to the south of RNK's Sky Ranch. It's really, really short and kind of, yeah. It's a very beautiful airfield, so I'm gonna do my best to try to land there. We actually wanted to land there previously on a PilotEdge group flight, but time permitting, or didn't permit, basically, so we went elsewhere. Then I'm going to head towards the coast via Kimbrel Farm, Banas Field, up to Bowerman, KHQM, a very well-known location for a lot of flight simmers. Hogan's Corner, Ocean Shores. I'm basically going to go into every field I can find. Westport and Grayland Intergalactic Airfield. That's one of the most glorious names of an airfield. By that time, I've covered basically a dozen airfields. So if it seems appropriate, I will go do my full stop at Willapa Harbor, one of my absolute all-time favorite airfields. I love that airport so much, and you're going to see why when I get there. It's absolutely gorgeous. But I have a bonus round of Martin and Port of Ilwaco and Wirkkala, which sounds like a Finnish name to me, if time permits. So all of this is within, I think, radius of about 50 miles from Olympia. So it's going to be like this. So, with that in mind, I will go like this. Let's go flying. Let's see. What do we have here? We have a Cessna taxiing out. Anyways, I have a lot of fuel already from previously. No worries, Thomas. Go sleep when or if that happens. You have obligations to your fruit, so we have an equestrian. You're not an equestrian, but you deal with the equestrian business, I guess, as one of your hobbies or jobs. We have that person in our chat, so he's he's riding as well. He says, "Well, you're basically a cowboy then." No, what do you mean? Not cow, but you know what I mean. Okay, let's pump the flaps down for the walk around. Let's see here. So you're gonna be up early to feed those things, I take it. That's why you need to be up early. Or walkies, maybe. So oil, I took oil just before I started up the stream here. Fuel, I've got plenty of fuel. Chocks out. Still have some fuel in the belly tank. The tip tanks should be empty. Chocks away. Tie down off. Let's see. Yep, right tip tank is empty. Flappage. 1 degree in the morning. Okay, so you're gonna go out and do what you need and run back in. That makes sense. Kind of weird how temperatures can be so wildly different these days. Here in South Norway, basically it's almost like springtime these days. And as I say that, of course, it's going to be colder and become snowy and horrific again. That's just how it is. And oh, look at that Mount Rainier in the background here. And weirdly, in the west part of the United States, the coast has been really cold and snowy these last days. I'm not sure if I've experienced that before. But then again, I haven't paid that much attention to the weather. Maybe I paid more attention to it when I have proper weather in the sim. Well, so these days, right today, the weather in Explain kind of conked out. But I've added the weather that is appropriate, as in the real weather. Took a little bit of programming, but I did. Okay, center tank is usually where I start, because then I can drain the belly tank. Okay, let's take the flaps back up again so I can see around me. Up, good. High pressure, yes, indeed. Let's have a look forward for that. Yes, of course, the UK weather, it's going to be rainy in SoCal when you get there. You're not going to be seeing anything. Okay, let's pump up some fuel pressure. Thus. And hello, CG. I am flying in southwest Washington State. If you give me a second, I will show you the map. I'm just going to get the engine rolling, so I'm ready for departure here. But basically, Olympia airport and out towards the coast. Hell of a lot of airfields to be visited. I'm really excited about that, actually. I hope I won't crash. Okay, let's start this thing up. Throttle is cracked. Let's put on some beaconage and clear prop. Good. Okay, let's see. And ignition. There we go. Yes, nice. Good. And oil pressure is up. Oh, the fuel pressure is in the red. It's coming down. Sometimes when I start this plane, it just goes bananas with the fuel pressure. Well, not quite bananas, but it's bumping itself into the red. But it will gradually go down when the engine starts pulling that fuel out of the lines, or through the lines, rather. Right, let's get the alternator and the master.
Negative November 16 Lima Bravo, clear of runway 20 at Juliet, request taxi to parking.
November 16 Lima Bravo, taxi to parking via Mike, monitor ground, good day.
Okay, I can squelch that radio for now. Let's just have a look at what the alternator is doing here. So I have 25 volts and it's pulling 10 amps. It's not very impressive. Should be taking more, but then again, maybe it will when I get the engine up. Should be charging at least. Anyways, so what I was saying was that I was supposed to show you CG where I'm going. And just a quick recap. I'm at Olympia, Kilo Oscar Lima Mike, and I'm gonna visit a bunch of small airfields towards the coast here. I'll talk my way through them, but if you open the VFR chart, you will find that I will be visiting almost all of them, and many more that are not charted. This one here to the south of RNK Sky Ranch, for example, these three around Elma, and a couple of others. The highlight is going to be the destination, which is Willapa Harbor, which is a glorious airfield, and Grayland Intergalactic Airport. Anyway, let's get going. I need 80s, 135.72. Let's see here. Let's set radio here. 135.72.
Backhaul runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information. India.
Okay, India.
Olympia Airport. ATIS information. India. 2254 Zulu. Wind 210 at 4. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 7. Dew point -4. Altimeter 2978. Arriving and departing runway 17. Visual approaches in use. Read backhaul runway assignments and hold short instructions. Okay. Advise on initial contact. You have information. India. Olympia Airport. ATIS information in.
Okay, so that means, let's see here. Does that check out? Yeah, within a couple of 100 feet. No, a couple of tens of feet. That's perfect. Right. Ground point 6 is set, and tower 124.4 is set. So, okay, I'm ready to go, and I'm currently, as you can probably see, at Safety in Motion Flight Center, which is a glorious name of an FBO, I had to say. So, probably going to be Echo and Bravo to runway 17. And engine is rolling over nicely. So let's set 17 in the HSI here, so I have some situational awareness. And trim is set. No, it isn't. Rudder trim needs to come on. There it is. Perfect. And we're ready to go. So if I should misremember to take this away, that's how it's supposed to look, but sometimes I will forget. That's gonna be, yeah, well, it's not too bad. I can see that the map is not killing the whole screen here. Anyways, I have India, and I will be departing to the west. Let's put the radio back on. Do the control checks. That goes up, that one goes down, and up, and down, up, and down. Good. Rudder, I will take on the run-up, because I cannot see the rudder from the inside of the plane, so I need airflow over the tail to be able to check that it works. So let's start taxiing out. Olympia ground, Beaver 524 Echo Alpha, information India at safety in motion, FBO taxi for northwest departure.
Beaver 524 Echo Alpha, Olympia ground, runway 17, taxi Echo Bravo.
17 via Echo Bravo, Beaver 524 Echo Alpha. Excellent. Almost like he's reading my mind. Okay, coming up on Echo, which goes alongside the ramp. That one is Foxtrot, I think. This is a good day for VFR flying. It's pretty cold. It's a little low pressure on the low pressure side. It was actually higher earlier today, this morning. Let's do some S-turns there so I can see where I'm going. But the wind is not too horrific, so I shall probably survive, if nothing else, because of the wind. Now, what is this plane? Thomas, you know what this is? 3220 uniform. Experimental, it says. I have no idea what that is. Did your first towered overhead brake into Flagstaff. Excellent. 250 over the numbers. Well, I could do 250 over the numbers as well with the Beaver. 250 feet per minute. I can do that. Okay, coming up on Bravo and runway 17. So I shall be Dornier 328. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You know these things. I had no idea. Let's switch to tower and do a quick run up here. So first, let's check the rudder. Pulling left rudder should make the plane lean to the right. It does, and vice versa. Excellent, good. Checking magnetos. Left fine, right fine, and propeller governor is working. Perfect. Carb heat, let's stabilize first. Slightest of RPM drops. And oh, we're charging, so all this is good. And temperatures are not quite green yet, but they won't be before I start taking off. Let's pull flaps down. Climb flaps, that should be sufficient. And looks like it's clear around the pattern. Yep. Olympia Tower, Beaver 524 Alpha, runway 17 ready for northwest departure.
Beaver 524 Alpha, Olympia Tower, make a right downwind departure, runway 17 cleared for takeoff.
Right downwind departure and 17 cleared for takeoff, Beaver 4 Alpha. That's good. Strobage and landing lights. And the departure end is clear. And approach. Come on, let the tail wheel be locked. Good.
Approaching runway 17.
Yes, thank you. Clear.
Entered runway 17.
I'll pull up that picture when I'm on the downwind, Thomas. Okay. So this engine is starting to get tired, as you will see now. I'm going to get full power. Manifold pressure is going to be fine. The supercharger works fine. But the cylinders are slightly under cooking. See, I'm not getting full RPM. I should be full RPM way before that. So this engine is in need of service, so I'm going to have to head for North Washington very soon. Anyways. It is still performing nicely though, as you can see. It's just not getting full takeoff power. So, of the 450 horsepower the engine has to offer, it probably has maybe 420, you know? Anyway, let's pull it back so I don't worsen the situation. So I was cleared for a right downwind departure. Pull the flaps a little bit. So, probably it's time to take a downwind here. If not the Dornier, then it's this thing. Okay, well, so you're not positive. I couldn't tell you anyway, so... Anyway, let's get on the downwind. And I'll have a look. So here's the Highway 5 or Interstate 5, I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to be halfway following that up towards the town of Olympia, where I will be turning westbound over to Bear Valley. So let's have a look at that picture. So the first one you sent was this thing, which kind of, to me, my untrained eye, look a little bit like the that weird BAE 146 thing. But that's just my untrained eye. So let's see the second one. Well, but the BAE 146, isn't that a 4-engine plane? You see how much knowledge I have about jet airplanes? Rip-off of the 146. Okay, well, so I'm not that lost. It kind of has the same weird shape to it. Well, as in weird, well, I kind of actually like how they look, the 146. The second one was a Ukrainian rip-off of that one. Okay, well, that's what people do. They rip off things. It's especially evident in the current world of cars. All the modern cars look alike. For good reasons. You know, economics and all of that, but kind of boring. Good old days when cars had hard personalities. Like the Beaver, for example. It's a very distinct personality to it. It's not a Piper Cub, that's for sure. Yeah, the 146 is a 4-engine aircraft. Okay, well. So it's good that I at least remember that. I'm being naughty here. As you can see, I should be doing this. Oh, okay, so let me show you what I just did. So on the map here, I can do this. And that becomes tack chart, which is so much more lovely. So I'm going to be passing something called Mud Bay, which is the one right down here. Okay, so I got another link here. Let's see what kind of plane this is. Is the same thing? That's looked like more of the 146 with a gigantic wing with the flaps down. So this is Mud Bay and McIntosh. This place is called McIntosh, or Macintosh if you so desire. Formula 1 management aircraft. Wow. Formula 1 is one thing that I know also very little or nothing about. So, let's see here. We are 12 miles out from Bear Valley Sky Ranch. Let's see if we can find information on the runway here. Let me bring you along. So this is what I'm looking at here. I'm gonna actually go a little bit to the left here, so I can go over this hill here. Runways 4 and 22. I've got wind from the southwest, so that's perfect. It's gonna be crosswind regardless. No, actually it's not. Runway 22 is gonna be more or less directly into the wind. So that's gonna be it. 2,500 feet of grass. So it's gonna be one of those. Because this is a very scenic flight, I'm going to do my best to do at least a full stop landing, or if the runway length allows for it, I will do stop and go landing. This is because some of these fields are really beautiful. I think most of them are either stock or taken from the explain.org forum, as in it's freeware, but not from the gateway. So they require to be downloaded and have libraries installed to make them work properly, but some of them are really, really worth it. Useless fact, until very recently, the UK Royal Flight 32nd Squadron used 146s. Is that useless? But so what do they use now, and why did they stop using them? Are they too old? So now we are passing Summit Lake, which is the one here. Summit Lake. The road continues down to the northwest from that lake, and that's where I'm going. So we are looking for a stack and a sawmill. And this is one of the things from Quadjet to Trijet. Oh yeah, Falcon 900s. Yeah, so this is one of the things I really love about progress indeed. Love about VFR flight, especially when I can concentrate on it. For example, when we're doing the group flights, I'm just concentrating on, the traffic, the people who I'm flying with. So flying alone is a little bit more. I can delve a little bit more into the to what I'm seeing outside the window. So, for example, now, as I said, I'm on the lookout for the sawmill to the southwest of the airport, and the stack and whatever that antenna is close to the airport. They might very well not be here in the sim, but I'm going to look for them, and I'm going to be very happy when I see them. Or not. So here's McCleary. So let's see here. I'm going to be passing this. The hill to my right here is going to contain 222 feet tall tower. Let's see if I can find that. It's going to be on top of this hill. There we have it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead and shut your eyes, Thomas, and this will be posted if things go successfully on YouTube later, so you can go have a look if you want and be inspired to get your beaver more action again. Good night and sweet dreams, and say hello to your ground loops. I'll be sending you a report of my amount of ground loops. Say hello to your fruity equestrian friends tomorrow, and good night and good luck, I guess. Anyways, so here's something that is not charted. This looks like is it a racetrack? Or is it... No, it looks like what do you call it? A mine, perhaps. So it's so it's either too small or too new to be charted yet. Anyways, McCleary is coming up. It's going to be that little town over my nose here, actually. And I can already see the stack, I think. It's going to be the one near to the factory in front of me here. There we have it. That's a factory and a stack. There should additionally be a tower here. So I think the stack is the one closest to me, the one directly in front, and to the right should be a tower of some sort. Well, never mind that. There's an airport here. To my right, I think. This should be it. So this one doesn't have any CTAF associated with it. So I'm just gonna go overhead and have a look. So the wind is still from the southwest, so runway 22 is going to be my best bet. So you see I'm going to be probably passing over midfield right very soon here. And yes, I'm cheating with the Preflight. But you don't have to look at that. You can look at the scenery. So that airport should be... Is it this one? This one it is. There we have it. I see some airplanes and stuff sitting down here. So I'm going to go all the way around here. Mute our... So I'm going to just turn down the volume on the radio for now. So this looks like it's a very tight airfield, as in terms of forestry and all that mess around it. So I need to be on my game as far as keeping a steady rollout here. And it's long enough for stop and go, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to land very early and stop the airplane on the runway and have a look around and take off again, straight out. According to Preflight, it's 2,500 feet, so that should be perfectly fine. So let's start slowing down. Pulling flaps very soon, as soon as I'm in flap range. So let's see here. Lights are on. Okay, where's the... there it is, okay. So what I can do now is, of course, avoid that stack. Where the hell is that now? Okay, well... this can be a good base to final turn, that field. It's going to line me up nicely. Okay, can slowly take some flaps here. Looks like we have a railroad here. Is that a train coming through? That it is. Okay, full RPM. And take off flaps for now. And on final I will drop the full thing. I can just barely see the airport in front of the pitot tube here. It's one of those hidden fields. Yeah, I'm gonna take the full flaps now. So that's squared away. There we go. So how does that feel? Does it feel like I have crosswind here? Slight left crosswind? Yes. Okay. Hello, CG. This field is Bear Valley Airfield. Whiskey November 47. And I think this is a pure stock airfield. Maybe it's not, I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it's very heavily modded, but... Okay, so as you see, it's going to be a tight squeeze in here. Got a big wingspan on this field, on this plane. Come on. And use the Lindbergh reference, as they call it. Just look outside of the window. Don't try to look over the nose. Okay, here we are. Let's pull the flaps to takeoff position, so that's dealt with. And let's have a look around. Yeah, so this seems like a private airfield where almost like it's like a community. What do you call it? Airpark, because I can see several houses connected to the airfield. Like a cool place, actually. Anyways, so now I'm going to depart straight out, more or less, to follow the road to the southwest. See if I can find that sawmill and Elma. And there's going to be a couple of airfields coming up very quickly here. Just to the southwest of the town of Elma, which is just over the horizon here, or the hills there. There's the airport, and quickly after that, very close to those big cooling towers, there's an old power plant there. There's going to be another airfield, and then I'm going to go back towards this one, the D&F Airpark. So, depart Sawmill, Elma Town, and then the Elma Airport, and then the cooling towers. It's going to quickly happen in succession here. So let's... I think I have enough room to depart. Yes, I do. So let's just do a very quick full power setting here. Set trim. Okay, power is set. Airspeed alive. Engine is in the green. We go. Try to avoid those shrubs. And pull back the power a bit. And up with the flaps. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stay a little bit to the right of the main road here. And the railroad and all that, because it's going to make it easier for me to navigate and to see the sawmill and all that. You can see the cooling towers already on the horizon there. You can see it just over my cowling here. Let me pull on my binoculars and you will see. There they are. So there's a couple of airfields over there that I'm headed to. But first, the sawmill. Should be in this area here. Looks like we have it already. This mess down here might be the sawmill. Or maybe it's the one hiding in the bushes over here. Let's have a look. Sawmills are very good VFR checkpoints because they are pretty distinct, cluttery places with lots of, you know, not a lot of asphalt. It's a lot of, you know, dusty trails and a lot of wood and clutter, basically. Yeah, you can see. There it is. That's a sawmill. Or is it this one? Could be both. Regardless, that turn in the road is the one right here. And just a few miles ahead of me is the town of Elma. And the airport should be on the southwest side of that one. I don't remember or know or have any information here about where the runway direction is going. So that is going to be a bit of well, we just have to fly over and see if I can find it. I've been here, but it's been a year or two since I've visited this airfield. And many of these fields in this area are kind of, it's a bit hazy.
Traffic.
Got traffic here. Interesting. Yeah, I got a bit of you know, hazy remembrance of these fields because there are so many of them. Okay, so I can see on the map here that to my 10 o'clock should be a 391 feet tower, and it's very prominently visible right there. It's good to know. And I see on Preflight that I have company. So, at Bear Valley, our good friend CG has started up his plane. So apparently he was magically right there. Now I'm wondering if he's still around, what he is flying. So let's see here. So that's the town. There's a lake. Probably not visible on the chart here, but there's a lake down here. And let's pull this way. Cessna 152, perfect. That's an excellent plane for this trip, and very welcome. Just be aware you're going to be the setting offer of a lot of traffic calls, but that's fine. So I can see something here that might be an airfield. So here's the town of Elma. And I remember there's a lake connected to it. But is this the lake? No, that's actually the railroad, it looks like. No, but here we have it. My 12 o'clock. So what I will do now is I will just draw a magical line through here and just swipe this cursor around to rough direction of the runway. So more or less east-west. It gives me an idea of what's going on here. The wind is from the south west, so there's no big reason for me to choose either runway, but I will do the west runway because I'm set up for an overflight. You look at this beautiful airfield. This is one of the freeware airports from the org. So this can be just downloaded and had for free. Beautiful, beautiful place. Slightly scary with the cooling towers, but yeah, that's just how it is. Obstacles are part of the business of bush flying. So, if not cooling towers, then mountains or trees or moose or whatever. So I'm gonna use the lake as I'm gonna be routing out towards the lake. So flaps are set, prop full forward, and I'm gonna be, cannot see where he is now. He's not close by that 150 pilot, so I'm gonna ignore him for now. So I'm gonna be doing a stop and go here as well, because this place is worth having a look at. Okay, full flaps coming in. So isn't this glorious? Have a look at this beautiful place. So if you land early, you're gonna be in the drink. And if you land long coming the other way, you will be in the drink. Yeah, I have a left crosswind here. Ah, this is beautiful. It's got a very non-standard runway marking, which is something I really like. Those crash barriers, I don't want to ground lope into those, that's for sure. Let's see if I can stop rather quickly here. Like that. Pull up flaps, ready for takeoff. And have a look around. Yeah, look at that. Elma. Isn't this fantastic? You can get this for free. Beautiful, beautiful airport. Uncharted. Anyways, so now quickly we'll be departing straight out over to MY. That's airfield is east-west. Poor treated asphalt is what it says. 1,400 feet. So that's gonna be nice. Let's have a look. And I can see we have Cessna coming over midfield here, so I'm gonna wait for him to go over to the left downwind before I depart. There we have him. So let's get rid of the map and depart. And power set. And let's pull up the nose here. Okay, so let's just go up here. So this next airport is going to come really fast here. So I'm going to just go towards the cooling towers and basically be on right base, I think. I also think I remember how this airport is located. Kind of located close to the mountainside here, and very close to a river. So if I keep the speed down, I might be able to just affect the landing relatively fast here. So east-west, so basically I'm on the right base now. Is that it? No, that's it. That's not it. That's just that's a road. I think it's slightly further along here. It's I think it was on the south side of the river. Maybe across these trees here. Well, maybe I think I have it now. So if there's a cutout in the trees here, I can dive into modified right base here. Yeah, there we have it. This is probably not the correct way of coming into this airfield. So if that's the case, well, there's an X even on this side. So it might be low past this one. But I will land here, of course. I'm just gonna be going the other way. Yep. This is also a glorious airfield. So let's do a teardrop and coming in on the east runway. It's usually a marking that is very often used on these bush fields. They put an X on the side that that is not suitable for landing. I've seen even an airfield in South California, Billy Joe, very close to French Valley. It's basically in French Valley. It has a skull and two bones, you know, in the cross, that classic pirate symbol, you know, the death symbol. marking on one end of the runway. They don't want you to land that way.
Traffic.
So yeah, we have traffic. Well, he's on the roll. Let's see if I can... Is he actually rolling out, or is he coming... Yes, he's coming out. Okay, he's steering to the left. Good job.
Traffic.
So I'm gonna... Well, there's an X on both ends there, so I guess that's a different matter then. This approach was really bad. Hey. Those ground loops are trying to get with me here, so that was a quarter of a ground loop, Thomas, for your viewing pleasure when that time comes. Okay, let's pull takeoff flaps. That basically came down to me not having a good approach. It was too high and too fast, so I kind of forced it down into a wheel landing that I was not prepared for. Anyways, now is time to go eastbound slightly towards D and B Airpark is what it's called. It's going to be a 2911 runway, so let's just set that. With the wind now, this can be direct crosswind. Let's say 1-1, just for ease, since we're coming that way. Let's see. So the runway is clear, and he's ready to depart from there, I think. This 152. Let's go. Power is set, and engine is in green. Airspeed alive. Let's do a 3-point takeoff. Slightly more scary with a 3-point takeoff because I cannot see shit, but it's so much more efficient because you're taking off at an excellent angle of attack for departure. Hello, Edmund Stoner. Welcome to the chat. Or rather, welcome to the stream, and welcome to Washington, where I'm exploring weird and uncharted airfields. So if you're wondering where I am, I'm at this location to the west of Seattle, southwest of Seattle, Olympia, and into the area around Elma, where I've just visited 2 airfields that are not charted.
Traffic.
And we have the Cessna 152 just departing. Gonna pull up the flaps here. So let's see here. Cooling towers, and the airfield is just down there, the one I just departed. So let's see if I can find it. So that airfield, let's see here. So I'm going to be seeing those cooling towers to my right here, and to my left should be a large-ish tower at 265 feet. And if I follow the railroad there, 3 miles, I should see that airfield, D and B Airpark. And as I said, it's a pretty overgrown airpark as far as I can remember. I think it's out of use as far as I can see, or it has been at least neglected for a while. So it's gonna be interesting to see if I can find it. So let's see here. The railroad should be beneath me here. I think that's the one. Oh, that's the river. The railroad is on my other side here. No, or is that actually not... Yeah, I think that's the road. The railroad is beneath me here. Anyways, I can also see that next to the railroad is power lines. So they can be a clue to find this airfield. So down there, under my wing there, that's the Elma airfield. Beautiful airfield. Undeservedly not charted. But then again, the owners might just not want it for some reason. So here we are to be turning to the southeast. Yeah, here we have it. It's this is the airpark. Not much to speak of. And also, I think these power lines are new, so they are crossing the area that people land on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and not land there because I don't want to be tangling with the power lines. So, what's next? Next is a long-ish stretch of 10 or 12 miles down to Rochester, where there's a very, very difficult airport to land at. I'm going to be flying over it at least once to see if I can gauge the feeling of landing there, and also if the wind is cooperating. It's a very, very difficult one. Very short and very scary terrain, and very much a one-way in, one-way out. And once you commit it, then you're in for it. Now what is this? I don't see anything on the chart here. This the town of Malone and Porter. There's a huge plant or something here. What the hell is this? Now what is this? A huge farm of some sort. So, you probably noticed that there's an R&K sky ranch here. I'm not going to go to that one. That's also a pretty dilapidated old field that is not much to speak of. And it's not a major point of interest, so I'm just going to ignore it. But I'm going to go to the west afterwards, to Kimbrel Farm, and onwards to the coast. And the coast is going to be glorious. There's so many cool airfields over there. So we're listening to the Tracon around Olympia here, I think. Am I going to be talking on any CTAFs here soon? Bowerman is going to be a 122.7. I could set that, so that is ready. And Ocean Shores is 122.9. Yeah, I might as well just switch over to get that ready. So I'm ready to talk on these radios when that time comes. These are not charted with any radio, so I'm gonna not do that. I could actually call on this one though.
Traffic.
On the CTAF to the R&K sky ranch, because there are going to be traffic around that area. So I could do that. 122.9, so that's the one I already set here. So that's going to be what's the name of that airfield? I don't remember. I think it was something with Rochester actually. So I'm going to call it Rochester. Let's see here. We have wind from the south. That is very good because that runway is slightly towards the south. Actually, this is a good time to show a feature of Preflight. I can take away the map and have a look at the satellite photo. I'm not sure if this placement of the map is correct, actually. I just plotted it in some, you know, some relatively reasonable place. It might actually be that one. Yeah, I think it's actually like this. And that's the full length of it, so it's if I'm correct, that's 600 feet of runway. It's uphill though, so there's some bonus there, but it's very narrow, and I don't think the first part of the runway is used. No, here it is. Here it is. It was on the other side of the road here. There it is. It's slightly longer. It's 900 feet at most, at the very most. I don't think the beginning is going to be useful at the end, so it's going to be more 750 feet or so. Runway direction is 16. So I might be helped with wind coming from roughly that direction. So if all goes well, I might actually be able to land there. The problem is I'm going to be having to take off the other direction with tailwind. But then again, taking off with the Beaver is never usually a problem. It's got all the power. So let's just do that. I'm going to draw that line on the map like that, so I have a reference. So I can see where it is. So it's just to the south of R&K Sky Ranch. Slightly to the west, southwest. And what I will do is I will be following this this road here, and then break off. Well, actually, there's a tack chart available for this region here, so I will be flying towards Rochester. When I see the Sky Ranch, I'll bank to the right and see if I can fly a low approach over Rochester. Let's try that. It's going to be and I'm going to be trying to slow down a lot for that flyover, so I can kind of gauge how it's going to feel. Because if it's no go, it's no go. I'm not going to attempt a crash here. That airport is not made for a Beaver, so. It's slightly on the irresponsible side for me to take this plane in there. So I'll start slowing down here. Let's see here. So center tank is almost empty here, but I have stuff in the belly tank, so I'm going to pour that in there. And I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes to remind me to turn off that valve. Not that it really matters when it's empty, but just cleans up the plane somewhat. Okay, start pulling some flaps. So the town of Gate is the place up here. It's not even a town, it's more like a local community. And the R&K Sky Ranch is... Now where the hell is it? I know I have seen it before, but it's in this area here, I think. Is it on this side of the forest? No, it's on the other side of the forest. It's very close to the town here. So what I'm looking for here is next to the forest here. I think that's where I'm going to be headed for the for that airfield. It might be the one up there actually. That little ridge there. So this is scary, and I haven't been at this airfield before. I've only seen videos from real life of people landing there, and I've looked at it and wanted to go there, but I haven't had the chance to do it yet. So here it's coming right now. Looks like the environment is good for today because of the wind. Okay, so the Sky Ranch ought to be in this region here. Very bad spot with all these power lines, though. Could it be this one? Yeah, there we have it. Not a very pretty airfield, and surrounded as it is with power lines. Okay, landing flaps are set, and I think yeah, there we have the field. You see, it's basically just a carved out little nook in the forest there. It's not very inviting, which is to say that it's very inviting for a bush plane enthusiast, but yeah. So I'm gonna do a low approach, but configure as much as possible for landing. So full propeller, full flaps, try to get low, also gauge an altitude here. Slight crosswind here from the right, but that's not going to be a big factor, I think. So let's take the map away. The first part of the runway, as you can see there, that's sloping very much downwards, so it's not going to be the place I land. I have to land a little bit longer up. And as you can see, the forest is kind of narrowing in, so I might be scraping into the leaves or the needles of the trees here if I land here. So if I want to land here, I might be actually coming down a little bit further down, kind of attacking it from below, more or less. Yeah, look at this. It's okay, let's take all the power I can dare to give to the engine. Climb out here. Yeah, as you see, it's a scary airfield. Not sure I dare to go in and land. But it's very tempting. And I think I can fly lower and slower than I did. And if I just planned it properly and not try to land softly, I think I can do it. Let's see, I see the traffic is behind me here. You see a landing? I hope not. Because he might be able to land with a 152, but that plane doesn't have the power to take off again from such a short runway. At least I don't think so. Anyway, let me give it a try. And I saw that I had margin to go around here, so because this plane has all the power in the world, feels like. So maybe a little bit more flaps, slightly into the emergency landing zone. Might need a longer approach than this to be stabilized, though. Now it's fine. Just be low enough. So I want to drag it in with power. Almost drag it up to the runway with power. So, right crosswind here. Thankfully the trees on the approach here has been carved out a little bit. So I'm going to be aiming to land by that windsock there. Yeah, nice, fantastic, much better than I had hoped. Oh, good grief, but I can feel my pulse though. I definitely have a pulse now. No, yeah, CG, you won't. This is add-on. Freeware add-on field. As you can see, it slopes down at the end here. So this was I'm literally shaking now. So as you can see, the runway is slightly longer, but with the wide wingspan of this plane, you cannot use the whole thing. If you have a smaller plane, you can go deeper into the forest there, but with this plane, it's not very useful. Anyway, just let me gather my thoughts here and depart again. Departure is not going to be a problem, but I'm going to take the flaps to take off again, so I don't have too much drag. Good grief, that was something. That was one for the books. So, left crosswind departure to the west, over to Kimbrel Farm. Let's plug in the runway numbers for this one. 3416. So the same as this one. 1900 feet of grass. That's no problem. Hello, Edmund. Again, 8 Whiskey 9 is in expeditive 12. It is. Well, yeah. So that's the one across the road here. The R&K Sky Ranch. That one. The one I landed at is just to the south of it. It's very much yeah, as you can see, it almost isn't there. So the Sky Ranch that you talk about is over there, just across the valley here. So, but just for orienting here, so Seattle is in this direction, Olympia is over here somewhere, and if it wasn't too foggy, I would be able to see Mount Rainier in the distance there somewhere. In this area, it's just inside the fog here. I saw it previously, but now we're headed for the coast. I'm not sure even what the name of this airfield is, the one I'm currently at. I think it's something about Rochester, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, let's go. Left crosswind departure to the west. Okay, I'm gonna need all the power I can get here. Engine is good. Nope, stop. So here's the deal with the tail wheel. You gotta check that it's locked before you start rolling. Because it wasn't. So I started going to the left here because of the torque. Come on now. Let's see if I can get it locked. Come on, lock. Now it's locked. Good, go. And off the edge we go.
Traffic.
Yes, thank you. Well, he's... Oh yeah, there he is. CJ is living dangerous. Whoa! I actually got into his wake. Also, I got a reminder to turn off the transfer of the belly tank contents. So that's done.
Traffic.
Yeah, he's gonna be a factor. Yeah, he's now below me here. Now he's gonna go into my wake. It's gonna be fun. Let's see if we can have a look at that when he goes into my wake here. Oh, maybe he didn't. Because that's one of the new lovely features of X-Plane 12, is that it simulates wake turbulence. It's not that it's a lot from a Beaver, but it's more than the 152, that's for sure. Okay, let's try to not melt the engine here. So, where am I and where am I going? Yes, I'm going to be following this railroad. It's actually one of those cool things about VFR charts. You see that this railroad is kind of split open right here. That means there's a tunnel. Or, actually, it can also mean two things. It can mean that it's been abandoned, so that it's some of the segments of the railroad is lost. So let's have a look. To my left now should be the railroad, either going into a tunnel or having been carved up. Cannot even see the railroad. It's been abandoned, so I think this is it. So this railroad goes here, and it Well, maybe it's just a crossing that is not charted. Let's see. Have a look further here. Yeah, I think it's just being carved up. So, but it's abandoned, as you can see up here. Abandoned. So up in the hills here, we are going to Kimbrel Farm. Let's see if there's any information on it. Runway 1634, soft when wet. Okay. So is there any other runways that are not soft when wet? Kind of useless information. You could say that just the runway is soft when wet. That would be much more enveloping. Specifying the runway sounds like there's runways that are not soft when wet. Anyways, Kimbrel Farm, runway 1634. So the wind is coming from the south, so it's going to be 16. It should be. I think it's going to be in this valley over here. There's a slight bit of a river coming down from the hills here that leads into the bigger one down here. Is this the one here? That's, yeah, so this is the bigger one. So there's one that comes from the hills here, as you can see here. So the bigger one goes through here, and there's one smaller one that goes all the way up to Kimbrel Farm. So I'm going to see if I can make use of that fact to find my way. This one is a rather large grass runway, I think, so it should be rather easy to find. I'm just happy that I was surviving that previous field, so I'm gonna take whatever I get. So 1634, so it should be perpendicular to me, I think. Is that one ahead of me here? Is it going to be in this valley here? It's not here, at least, so... It might actually be in that valley there. Would make sense, though, to have it in the valley, to leave room for the approach and departure. If you have a valley, you don't want to have the runway crossing the valley. Yeah, this might be it. Let's just slow down and go for it. So I'm gonna guess that I'm on a left base here for the south runway. Pull flaps. I see something that looks like a runway, so I'm gonna just aim for that and fly over if it doesn't look inviting and land if it does. And I see a farm, so that actually jives with what I'm looking for. Kimbrel Farm? I don't know. Does look like a runway though, doesn't it? Or runway is probably a too strong a word, but landable surface. So I have a bit of a crosswind here, feels like. Slight bit from the right here. Plenty long, as you can see. All right. Let's see here. An old barn. 4-2. Okay, let's pull takeoff flaps and go all the way to the end and turn around. See if our wingman CG has come down. He has indeed. Very good. Welcome to Kimbrel Farm. Let's get the tail wheel locked. I don't think this airfield is much more to look at than what I just saw here. I think it's stock. So if CG is seeing the same as me, basically just a barn or two and a strip, then that's it. So straight out, rather left crosswind departure to the west over to Banas Field. That's going to be another short one. It's 1,000 feet long, according to the map here. Fair grass, runway 3214. Let's set that. 1432. Set. Okay. Flaps are set. Trim set. Engine is in the green. Takeoff power is set. And the Cessna 150 is following along. Let's do another 3-point takeoff here. Just pull straight up. Use the angle of attack meter here to climb at the blue circle. So once I get to the valley here, I'm gonna lower the nose slightly so I can turn. Because if I don't lower it, I will increase the angle of attack. And I don't want to do that low and slow.
Traffic.
Yeah, so that's him coming behind me here. Yeah, there he is. He's pretty fast with that damn little Cessna. It's probably burning up the engine, but then again, that's full rental power. Okay, so westbound. Gonna be following this. There's a hint of a valley here, and that hill to my right here. That's the hill that you can see here, the 1780 hill. So I'm going to be on the south side of that, kind of going around it a little bit. So let's pull the flaps all the way up here. Engine back to the green segment here. Really bright here, flying into not quite yet, but you know, relatively soon setting sun here, and the visibility, the amount of moisture in the air makes for a pretty bright light here. Speaking of that, I see Banas Field has sunset at 0153 Zulu, which is in 1 hour and 20 minutes. Which basically means that the whole area here is going to be a sunset around that time. So it's just a note for myself that I have about 1.5 hours before it's going to get too dark to be flying around this area. At least this type of flying. So I want to have that into consideration when I'm planning whether or not I'm going for the full run or if I'm going to skip 3 last fields. Because some of these bush fields are really not conducive to land at when it's dark. It's yeah, it's going to be difficult to see anything, and Some of them are difficult enough as they are. As you saw. I mean, landing at the Rochester field that I just... that very short one. Do that in the night. Or in the fog, or the rain, or the snow, or the whatever. That wouldn't happen. Not with any sense of security or safety margin anyway. So we're coming up on Brooklyn, of all places. Have a look at this. To the south of Banas Field is something that should be a town-ish called Brooklyn. That's the one just ahead of me here. Those few buildings over here are Brooklyn, apparently. So I will be going down to Brooklyn. Follow the road that goes up to the valley to the right here. Should take me to Banas Field, and I'm going to be doing a left downwind to runway 14 because of the wind. The wind is currently, according to my GPS, 9 knots rather from the south. So 14 is going to be the most palatable runway. So here we have the horse track at Brooklyn. You found and fixed the glitch for the landing Gs. The script was averaging the last 30 G readings before you land. So what does that mean? Averaging last 30 G readings. Ah, now I understand. Okay, yeah. So, but how often does the sim or the script sample the G readings? How often does that happen? Is it once every second or something? Because that would be very good to have every frame. Oh, good grief! Okay, every frame. But that's basically, you know, in a, so the last second of the landing. Anyway, I would be interested to try out that little fix, because I don't look at the G meter because of that, because it doesn't make sense to land at negative G. So here we have Banas Field. As you can see, it's pretty short, but the approach angle over this little hill, or this valley here, is very conducive to a good soft. A good approach, rather. So I don't mind that. So what I will do is I will fly to that valley here, make that my base, and following the road up to here. Max function, and now registers the max G reading for the last 10 frames. Okay, good. Very clever. So is that, you're talking about the same landing Lua script that I'm using? You've probably seen it pop up on my screen. Because there are several of them. Yeah, cool. Okay, flaps. So let's have a look at my G reading when I'm landing here. See what that comes. I look at feet per minute. That makes more sense to me, and it's kind of a value that can be correlated with something. But having a sense that the G meter is useful is at least a good feeling. So I should be following this road here into the funnel, and we have the Cessna around nearby. I can smell him. He's very close. Did I go too far here? No, it's just that I cannot see the runway exactly from here. Added a feet per pound to show the force in pounds. Okay, that's interesting. So, are you by any chance the developer of that script? You know, from the get-go, or are you just adding yourself into the mix? Yeah, here we have the field. I can see it now. Slightly canted to the left here, so I need to be over this hill to my right here. Yeah, so the 1,000 feet is not a joke, so I better get down and slow down. This terrain it's not very hospitable for landing at such a short field, but compared to many others I've been at, it's pretty pleasant. It's very open at both ends. You have choices. I say that, of course, as I'm coming in here over the trees and seeing that it's very short. Okay, let's see if I can get in here. Actually, much shorter than it looks. Or it looks shorter than I thought. Okay, let's see here if I can pull this off. Good grief. Come on. .99 G. 328 feet per minute, which is not very good, but it's not bad either. I've seen much worse. And we have G coming in. Let's hope he finds the runway. And thanks for taking a look at it, Edmund. It's very good to have updates of these old scripts. This airport is, I'm not sure what G is seeing here, but I'm pretty certain that he's not seeing this, because this is one of those fields that you can download from the org for free. It's not a very complicated field, but it's well done, and they've taken pains to do, for example, this, like putting up a little garden, flowers, and a canoe, and a boat, and cars. I like that sort of level of detail. Makes things come to life. Trampoline, houses, things like that. I like that. If I were the creator of this field, and I've created a few fields myself, I wouldn't be able to resist adding a little bit of what do you call it? Easter eggs. I like some surprises, and usually they are very naughty and bad and horrific. So, CG, you found yourself crossing the... let's just call it a road. Although there's a heron sitting here. Let's just say that this river part here is dried up for CG's purposes. Or that his plane is an amphibious one. Anyways, babbling away. Yeah, down with him. Yeah, he does. And yeah. But I don't think he's as naughty as I am. My first airfield has a murder scene and another scene that is... yeah, well, let's just say that I shouldn't talk about it on frequency, basically. Anyway, so straight out departure, following the river and the valley down towards Bowerman, where I will be doing a full stop to refill my glass, and we'll continue on. So let's children laying around trampoline. Well, worse. Let's just say that, and leave it at that. Yeah, I have quite a bit of murder scenes actually on this my airfields. I just there's something that just you know, creating airports brings out the best in me, or the worst maybe. Come on, let's have a tail wheel locked here before departure. There we have it. Let's depart here. now let's do the other way. Now pull the nose down so I can see where I'm going. There we go. Yeah, now I can start climbing here. I can see that I'm not going to drive into a wall here. Try to get blue circle on the AOA. So if people are wondering where my angle of attack meter is at, it's up here. So I'm actually able to climb really steeply here now. Okay, that should be enough. Let's fall over slightly, pull power back to green, and pull up flaps, following the road and the river. There's a river and a road here. It's gonna take me to the northwest. And just under my nose here is the town of Vesta. I'm saying town when I'm seeing these circles here with a name. Probably not a town. It's a place at best. It's not even a neighborhood. I mean, people are not neighbors here. They are just distant, nearby people. But it's called Vesta. And it's not a town. It couldn't be possibly called a town. What is this? Is this earth, or is it or dirt? Or is it some sort of a muddy hole? Right, let's have a look. The Bowerman Airport should report wind or weather. Yes, it does. So wind from the southwest at 6 knots. So that checks out with what I'm seeing. Altimeter 2976. That's already the same that I have, so that's good. Temperature is 6. Let's see if that checks out. Yes, within reason. I'm at 3. Dew point -1. And it's broken 10,000. So it should be more clouds out there. But then again, I'm not sure if Explain is updating weather right now. So I'm just gonna ignore that. It doesn't really matter anyway, because I'm not gonna be going up to 10,000 feet anyway. And as I say that, this light down here just came on. Fuel warning. This is a custom light that a good friend of mine, Gareth, good PilotEdge buddy of mine, created for this plane. Lark away, Edmund. This is based on these other warning lights here, but it's connected to the fuel tank system so that it will light up when the chosen tank that you pull from, as of now it's the center tank, is below a certain level. So basically it's a fuel low light. With ample warning, it's I've maybe 5 minutes more flying on that tank before it's completely empty. But it's not connected to any specific tanks, so when I switch now tank to the front tank, it goes off because that front tank is full. It's very, very useful to have that because this plane is a bit of a drinker, so it takes a bit of fuel out of the tanks, and you have to start moving from the aux tanks. Of course, mine are empty, so you need to be aware of how much much fuel you have left, and I cannot really count the number of times I've run a tank dry on this plane. And the problem with that is not that you are able to start it again, but it takes a bit of work, because apparently the fuel lines are draining when the tank is empty. So what happens is that the fuel tanks are out of pressure. The fuel lines are out of pressure. So when you run it dry, you have to pump up the pressure and basically do a complete restart of the engine. It's not enough just to punch the starter or just bring fuel to it. You need to actually, take away that air that is now left in the fuel lines. That can be quite stressful if you're down low and slow like I'm now. So, having a look at the map here, we're coming up on the big valley here. We were up here. You can see the cooling towers over here. Let's have a zoom in here. That's where I landed at those two airfields at Elma. And now we're close to Aberdeen, just a town over here, and Bowerman, KHQM. I'm just about to pass over. What is this? This is another stack. A lot of stacks and things charted in this area. It's a rather big. This is probably what you could call even a city. With lots of things going on. It looks like we have a plant of some sort. Looks like some water treatment plant, maybe. A lot of stacks. And we have a big bridge over here that is charted. And the airport, which is over here. So let's start talking on the radio here. Go in, runway 24. Bowerman traffic. Beaver 524 Echo Alpha is 5 miles to the east, descending through 1,500 inbound, straight in runway 24 Bowerman. So this airport, let's see here. No TAM. Approach lighting system, I don't care. Yeah, let's I'm gonna be taking whatever taxiway I'm gonna get, and go back to the ramp and fill up my glass and then go further. Cannot see the airport right now though. It's kind of in the glare here, but I know from experience that it's kind of behind this little inlet here. Actually, it might be... Could it be even behind that inlet? I think it actually might. Am I looking at the wrong place? Maybe I should have had approach lights here. Should be able to see a beacon at some point here. Hey. The sun is blinding me here. The runway should be slightly more to the left here. I think that's going to be the one. So I'm going to cross a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit to the right here. Bowerman traffic. Beaver 524 Alpha is on a 3-mile final, runway 24 full stop. Bowerman. Yeah, now I got it. I can see a poppy, I think. coming in hot, and see if I can fix that. Bowerman traffic. Beaver is on a 2-mile final runway 24 full stop.
Final runway 24.
Bowerman. It's a bit of a annoyance when the Preflight lady is always announcing my location while I'm doing it. 2 people speaking at once.
500.
Thank you. That, however, is useful. Especially when you're flying in IMC. It's very useful to suddenly have that to call out if you're not prepared. Okay, now I can start dropping flaps. It's like staring into the sun. I might actually just do it like this. Bowerman traffic, Beaver, short final 24 full stop, Bowerman. Okay, so here's the crosswind actually. Proper crosswind. Yeah, it's relaxing a little bit now when I'm getting down. That's good. So when is this floating ever gonna end? Come on. That's the floatiest float I've ever seen. Bowerman traffic, Beaver 4 Echo Alpha, clear off 24 to the right. Bowerman. See if I can see CG coming in here. Where is he? Oh yeah, he's still out of ways. Hello, David. Indeed. Not the best landings. It's not that the touchdown was bad, but it's just floated forever. And here's CG coming in. See him floating down there. So no pressure, CG. I'm gonna stop here and have a look. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, he is making the first exit. Oh yeah, cool. So you went into Flagstaff. For sure, I will join you to Grand Canyon tomorrow. If the weather is allowing it, I might change my mind and go... Actually, didn't we talk about going IFR? I'm going IFR and you kind of trailing me like crazy people. So CG is right there. Okay, well, he's holding short. Good. Well, not good, but that's what he's doing. Doing a taxi by camera is always a little bit scary because I tend to lose control over the direction of the plane for some reason when I'm looking outside like that. It seems to be fine now. There's CG coming in. Okay, so you're going to be practicing the formation flying first. Well, I'm with you as far as that goes. If you want to try doing a 3-ship, 2 Vipers and a TBM. Let's just not go too fast. So we're going to taxi over to the administration here and quickly fill up my glass. Power back, yeah. 380 true airspeed. Well, the TBM will not do that. It will do many things, but not that. So filling my glass with scary dark liquid, which is basically engine oil. It's as thick and grimy and scary as engine oil. Okay, now comes the tail end of the flight here, which is not to be joked with, because going to Hogan's Corner. Let's see if we can get runway information here. 2406. It's going to be 24 for sure. Let's set that up. Well, that's the same as here. And Ocean Shores, 2 very, very beautiful airports. Very scenic. Over to Westport, which I can't quite remember how it looks. It's been a while since I've been there. And then Grayland Intergalactic. I've been looking forward to coming back to that airfield. I haven't been there for many years. And then finally to my favorite, Willapa Harbor. And these 3 fields, if there's time enough. I don't think so, but we'll see how the sun is when we get there. Anyways, we'll be departing straight out, runway 24. We'll be following the coastline up here to Chinoy's Creek and into Hogan's Corner. So, okay, that's squared away. Let's pull flaps. Get rid of that. Trim, set. And we've got all kinds of fuel. So let's see here. I have a look around here. I don't see any crazy Canadians on final here. Well, I see a crazy Canadian behind me here, so there's that. Let's try escaping him before he envelops me with Canadian excuses and a lot of French talking. Let's see here.
Approaching runway 24.
Bowerman traffic, Beaver 524 Alpha taking off, runway 24, straight out departure. Bowerman.
Entered runway 24, 4,900 feet remaining.
Okay, let's get the lights on here.
Traffic Charlie Golf Bravo Romeo, taking position on way 24.
Yeah. He's on the radio as well, that's good. So he's lining up, so I can just go for it. Power is set. Engine. Greenish. And the P factor here, when I'm... not the P factor, it's the... what do you call it? The gyroscopic effect. Very interesting stuff here. Ah, that was much better. Not getting blinded here. Bowerman traffic, Beaver 5 for Alpha is upwind, runway 24, climbing through 300 feet. Bowerman. Let's pull back on power. It's actually quite funny that that small Cessna 152 is capable of keeping up with the Beaver. Because, I mean, the Beaver is a very slow plane, but the 152 is even worse. So, coming around the corner here, I shall see a couple of antennas. Very close to the coastline here. There we have one. Yeah, so this flight here is actually for one thing is been one thing I've been looking forward to when getting the Beaver back up to Washington and the Oregon territory. Because when I was flying it around in the desert, it just didn't feel like I wanted to put the plane on the stream. So I was spending more time in the TBM. And now that the plane has been pulled back up where it belongs, it feels natural to have another flight on the stream with Beaver. Feels only appropriate. Now look at the water and the coastline with the ortho. It doesn't look horrific, does it? I'm sure that it can be looking better when it's optimized, but it's not half bad. Okay, so Hogan's Corner should be just on the end of this little bay here. It's going to be around that area there, I think. So I see a little hill here with some sort of a tower on it. See if I can pull the map up and find that. And also this little nub here. That nub? I'm not sure if I can see that. It should be around this area here. That hill though, that's the one. There's a 215-foot tower, or a light
Traffic.
A mast of some sort. So that should be basically on a 1 or 2 mile final. It should be on my right wing. So when I see that tower on my right wing, I should be on the very short final. For runway 24. Slightly scary with this light situation here. So let's see here. Ocean Shores is at 122.9, so I might as well transmit there for the CTAF. I think I have the runway now. That's either there's a road very close to the airport, I think, but that might actually be the airport. Hogan's Corner traffic, Beaver 524 Kappa is on a 3 mile final runway 24. We'll be doing a full stop. Hogan's Corner. I think this airport is very suitable for landing straight in and taking off the other way. So that's going to be my hypothesis for now. So coming up on the tower, you see it blinking up here. Yeah, I've got wind from the left here. So you can see I'm drifting to the right from the runway. Get our bearings. Hogan's Corner traffic, Beaver, short funnel, runway 24, full stop, Hogan's Corner. And the Ocean Shores Airport is just over there. So it's kind of a little bit of a crossroads here as far as potential traffic. Although this is a private airfield, so I'm guessing that it doesn't have that much traffic. Can't see it now though, so I'm gonna get this one out of the way. That's much better. Okay, let's pump full flaps. Full flaps. Done. Okay, let's dive down. Try to get away from those trees. Okay, let's try to avoid that big floating thing that I did at Bowerman. That's better. Could say that I started with floating, but at least I didn't float when I got properly down. Okay, so what do we have here? Yeah, there's a big ramp up here. I can turn around. And this is a nice touch when they put cracks in the surface where grass is coming up. That's those tiny details, they make my day. And we have CG coming in. I'm gonna actually allow a little time here to have a look around, because this is actually a very good looking airfield. Look at this. No passing in front of gates. No parking, rather. There's not much more to it, though. Well, he's coming in. Nope, he is not going. Well, he is. Well, he's going to park. So let's just pretend we didn't see that. Hogan's Corner traffic, Beaver 524 Kappa, taking off runway 6. And we'll be doing a left downwind departure towards Ocean Shores. Hogan's Corner. Set. Engine yellow, but that's to be expected. Okay, the flaps can come up at least a little bit. I'm going to leave climb flaps and set it to down so it's ready for landing at Ocean Shores. Feels much better to fly with the sun in the back here. You can see where I'm going. That's gonna stop now. Just be mindful of that tower. Hogan's Corner traffic, Beaver 4 Kappa, turning left, crosswind runway 6, Hogan's Corner.
Traffic.
He's up already. Oh, he's fast. God damn it. Hogan's Corner traffic, Beaver 4 Kappa is on the left downwind runway 6, Hogan's Corner. Okay, Ocean Shores is the same frequency, but runway is going to be tree. More of, no, it's not going to be tree, that's going to be the other way. Runway 15. Yeah, I can see it there, and it's also got poppies. That's very, very nice. Hogan's Corner traffic. Beaver 524 Golf is on our left base departure from runway 6. Break. Ocean Shore traffic. Beaver 524 Golf is on 2 mile final runway 15.
2 mile
Will be a stop
runway
and
15.
go. Ocean Shores. Yeah, this is a pretty longish runway, so I think I'm gonna be fine with landing here. Or stopping and going here. What is this thing? That's another tower, isn't it? Just over my cowling here. Yep. Ah, this is a glorious piece of the earth. And Bowerman over there, around the corner.
Traffic, 10 o'clock, 1 mile, 1,100 feet above.
Traffic above me. Well, as I... What the hell is this? Somebody up here? Ah. Put a little bit more flaps here. This airfield is, I think it's stock. It's a good-looking field, but it's not the place I'm going to stop and look around that much. It's this is basically an international airport as far as I'm concerned. Ocean Shores traffic. Beaver 4 Alpha is on a very short final runway 15. Stop and go. Ocean Shores. So is that guy on his way into land here? No, he's still up there. So it's not a factory yet, at least. It's a good looking runway though. Non-standard runways, I like those. It's a day of floating today, I guess, but that's you know, tail first is a very good recipe for short landing. Okay, I know he's on base here now. Ocean Shores traffic, Beaver 4 Alpha, taking off runway 15 as the base traffic at site, Ocean Shores. So I'm gonna be, I'm gonna go to the right. It's gonna be easier for him to see.
Traffic.
CG, if you're coming in, be aware there's traffic on the final for runway 33.
Traffic, 5 o'clock, half mile, 300 feet below.
See how that goes. Yeah, CJ is fine. Perfect. Ocean Shores traffic, Beaver 524 Alpha is on the upwind runway 15, climbing through 700 feet, departing here to the south. Final call, Ocean Shores. That was exciting. Okay, we're going to Westport, which is also at 22.9 and runway 30, which means runway 12 the other way. Doesn't it? It does.
Traffic.
That's going to be CG, I guess. Cannot even see him. There he is. How nice. Okay, let's get those flaps up here. Right. Okay, runway 12 at Westport. It's 2,300 feet of good asphalt, so that's not going to be a factor. But I think it's a good looking airfield, as far as I can remember. Which is not very much, but I think it's worth stop and go. And it's plenty long enough for that to be happening. So, as you can see now, we are now at Westport, or crossing over from Brown Point to the other side, marina here. And the airport is basically straight ahead here. I think we have it there. Westport traffic, Beaver 524 Alpha is on a 3-mile final coming over the inlet. Runway 12 for stop and go. Westport. Well, it's a port.
Charlie Golf Echo Bravo Romeo 2 miles behind that Beaver number 2 for touch and go.
Nice. It's a port, and it's to the west, so Westport is an apt name. Westport traffic, Beaver, short final runway 12, will be doing a stop and go. Westport. He is aiming for a touch and go, so I will be expedient. Actually, I think this is worth. I'm gonna actually do a full stop. Westport traffic, Beaver will be doing a full stop at Westport, runway 12, short final. It's a very easy taxi back here, and this is also one of those fields that you can find on the Explain org. Really worth finding and getting into the sim. Not updated or optimized for Explain 12, but does it really matter when it looks as good as it does now? Oy vey. That was one of those ground loops to be. Westport traffic, Beaver, clear of runway 12 to the right, Westport. So this is kind of a roundabout here, so it's kind of easy to
Westport traffic, Charlie Golf Echo Bravo Romeo short final 12.
easy to get around. Good looking, eh? And there's CG coming in. Never mind that. That looks like a horrible landing, but it's probably not. That's just the ground clamping system in PilotEdge. Let's have a quick look around here. You see, this is not stock. They even got a football field here, and this is football. Not. This is what you can call football when you kick the ball with your feet. Anyways, flaps ready for takeoff, and we'll be departing down to Grayland Intergalactic. So let's get myself squared away here. So, straight out departure, Grayland, which is a hilarious airport. Definitely going to be landing runway 4. For many reasons. One of which is it being scenic, and well, you can die both ways, so there's that. Probably too long. It's not going to be that dangerous, but if you don't do it correctly, you will die very much. Let's see here. No traffic. Okay, good. Westport traffic, Beaver 524 Kappa, taking off runway 12 straight out. Westport. Okay, I need to reset my altimeter here. This airport is at...
Approaching runway 12.
14 feet.
Entered runway 12.
Thank you.
1,800 feet remaining.
Plenty enough. Okay, right crosswind.
Traffic, Charlie Golf Echo Bravo, Romeo, taking position, we want to.
Westport traffic, Beaver 524 Kappa is on an upwind, runway 12, departing the area to the south, over to Grayland Intergalactic. Westport. Okay, Westport is 229. Willapa Harbor, the next airport down here, is 229, so Grayland Intergalactic might as well be 229. Makes some sense. So here's the deal. Coming across the down the bay here, you're going to be following the road, and you're going to see in Grayland, the town of Grayland. If it is even a town, I don't know. But buried in the airport symbol is, you can see probably, windmills. They are going to be to the south of the airport, so they are very important landmarks. Is there any information here? There's poppies, apparently, here. I cannot imagine. Displaced threshold, runway 4, with crushed rock at each runway end. Well, we'll see about that. Comments? No comments. 2,000 feet of poor grass. Now the deal here is that there is a bit of a drop-off at the west end of the runway. You know, the end facing the shoreline here. Speaking of the shoreline. How about that? Yeah, so there's a drop-off facing the shoreline here. And that can be giving downdrafts or updrafts, depending on the wind. Let's see what the wind is doing now. The wind is from the south, so it's very much a crosswind here. So here you can see the windmills up on the hill there. So I think I'm going to go land at runway 4. It is going to be that direction, towards the forest. Grayland Intergalactic Airport traffic. Beaver 524 Kappa is 3 miles to the northwest along the shoreline, 1000. On a left base for runway 4, full stop. Grayland Intergalactic. And that sound of that airport name is just wonderful. Okay, elevation is...
Galactica traffic, Charlie Golf Echo Bravo, we are behind that Beaver number 2 for landing.
It's going to be interesting to see how he makes it. There we have it. So, 280 feet is airfield elevation. Of course, this beach looks very inviting too, doesn't it? Cannot see anything. Oh, come on. Yeah, I think we have it now. Grayland Intergalactic traffic, Beaver 524 Alpha, turning final runway 4, full stop. Grayland Intergalactic. Okay, let's pull full flaps, get that ready. There we have it. You see the drop off? So that can be a problem coming this way with the wind. But that's one thing. So you can crash into like at Willapa Airport. But if you come the other way and go too far, well, then down you go. It should be 2,000 feet long though, so it doesn't look that way though. Let's be ready for a downdraft here. Okay, that's fine.
That'll start traffic. Charlie Golf Echo Bravo, Mayor final.
Grayland Intergalactic traffic, Beaver is rolling out to the end of runway 4. Grayland Intergalactic. Might be a drop off at the other end here as well. Not that, that's too much. A little bit of a road down there. Let's see if he makes it. There he is. A little bit of a tailwind here now. It's going to be good for taking off. And well, he made it. It's fine. Fantastic. His tiny little 152. Let's have a look around. So there's a Cessna 172 here. And some... what the hell is this supposed to be? Is that some materials? Building materials? The hangar. Or 2. Well, I'll think about living at a place like this. That porch. I want to have a place like this when I grow up. Ah, yes, very much. Maybe someday in the future I will buy this place and live here. That would be kind of cool. Look at this. That is so cool. Anyway, I think I'm ready to go to Willapa Harbor. Let's just see here. What is the sunset time? 01:55. That's 20 minutes. I have 58 minutes left to go. No, I'm gonna go all the way. I'm gonna go all the way around. So, Here's the plan. I was thinking about going to Willapa Harbor now, but I'm gonna try quickly to go to Martin, Port of Ilwaco, and Wirkkala before I go there. I know that Willapa Harbor has lights. I think it even has approaches. No, it doesn't. It might have had, because it has that airspace. But anyway, let's go to Martin, which has runways 16 and 34. Let's get that set up. Probably 16 because of wind. Okay, flaps can come up to takeoff position. And Grayland Intergalactic traffic, Beaver 5 for cover taking off. Runway 22. And left crosswind departure to the south. Grayland Intergalactic. Okay, takeoff power set. Let's keep it low here.
Traffic.
Okay, taking the flaps up here. Yeah, I have some time before the sun sets fully here and before it's getting completely dark. Not much, but it's gonna cut it close. It's kind of... I want to see those other fields since I'm in the area. Grayland Intergalactic traffic. Beaver 524 Kappa is on a left crosswind, runway 22, climbing through 800, departing the area to the south over to Martin. Final call, Grayland Intergalactic. Alright, so coming up on Willapa Bay. So the airport that I'm going to be landing at is somewhere in Bay here, I think. Actually, it might be even in there. Yes, it's down here. That's Willapa, down there. Gorgeous place. But I'm gonna go down this area here and a couple of fields here before coming up back to the bay. I think Martin, the airfield of Martin, is more a flyover airfield. I think it's one of those fields that has been overgrown completely. It's actually possible to land there, I think, but it's so narrow that it's this plane doesn't fit there. So I'm just gonna have a look, see if we can find it. So the goal is to find it and have an inspection of it and then go on. Port of Ilwaco is more or less, let's see here. So you can see that this this bay here to the north of Astoria kind of has the same shape to it as this bay up here with Hogan's Corner. So Hogan's Corner is kind of situated on the northwest end of that bay, and so does Port of Ilwaco. So it has the same feel to it. It's very interesting to compare those two. I think Port of Ilwaco is, yeah, it's a much smaller airfield. It's slightly more primitive, I think. But might misremember that. So we're coming up on Ledbetter Point. Whatever that is, Ledbetter. Better lead. Ledbetter. So somebody's betting on lead. No idea. So coming up should be also kind of at a little bit town to the north of the field here called Oysterville. That ought to be a town though. It's called Oysterville. That's really cool. That's Willapa over there. The Pacific Ocean over here. So Oysterville, as I said, it's taking a bit of a time here because I've got a 10 knot headwind, and 10 knot headwind is not very conducive to any progress, to make progress with this plane. It's slow enough as it is, but getting headwind is not it's not very good. To be able to join that group flight in Washington here earlier today on the PilotEdge, I had to fly the plane from the Grand Canyon in Arizona. So I spent 2 or 3 days to do that, and had a very, very long flight one day, flying from Grand Canyon over to the west coast, more or less to across the Mojave Desert and to Palmdale and up via stopped at Fresno for fuel. I mean, whoever stopped at Fresno, but anyway, I did, and went on to land in Sacramento, I think it was. That was a long flight. And I had headwind across the desert like crazy, like 40 knots. The ground speed, the worst, was 87 or something like that. So that was fun. Anyway, Martin and also Oysterville should be right here. This is Oysterville. This little place. Some people grow up here. They live their lives out here. They know nothing else than Oysterville. And they might not know that there is an airfield here called Martin. It's going to be this one right here. Yeah, it's from my mind, it's too narrow. I've tried landing here before. I've never actually managed to do that. Hello, Melvin. How the winds of tides have changed is indeed. Well, where am I now? You know where I am. This is the airport of Martin. This little thing here. And of course, as you can see, this is not a TBM. I'm being chased by a Cessna 152, by the way. Kern Valley. No, I'm very much, very far away from Kern Valley. I'm in Washington. I'm basically, let's do this. So that's Seattle, 90 miles away. Olympia, 50 miles away. Portland, 87 miles away. Now you get an idea where I am. I'm on the west coast of southwest Washington, exploring all kinds of weird bushfields. And as you probably did notice, I passed over Martin here. The reason is because it is so narrow that I'm not able to land there. But I will be going to, in a minute or two, I'm going to Port of Ilwaco. Thence Wirkkala. That's a Finnish name, if I ever heard one. The people of Finland have a really weird, funny language, and that name there, that sounds like a Finnish curse word. Wirkkala. Anyway, and then I'm going to Willapa Harbor. And this, if you don't know about this airfield, 2 Sierra Niner. It's one of my top, I think, 5 airfields in the world. There's nothing particularly interesting about it. It's just a runway with a little taxiway next to it, and nothing particularly interesting about terrain. It's just beautiful. I just like it. I spent so many hours flying there, and I think that's the first place I flew this Beaver. Well, now that I think of it, when Thranda released this Beaver, I plunked it down at Willapa and spent hours and hours and hours and hours ground looping it all over that airport. And that's not why I like the airport. That might make me hate it, but I've just flown there so many times in so many flight simulators. I flew there in Flight Simulator X back in the day, prepared. I always came back to Willapa Harbor, and when I started flying in X-Plane, the first airport I started with was Willapa Harbor. So it's just it feels like my airport. It's my own airport. And you probably won't understand why when you see it, because it's not outstanding in any way. It's just a normal little airport. But I just like it. Some airports just have that feel to them. And we have CG. PilotEdge buddy of mine, who is on the spur of the moment decided to join me. Which is very nice. So he's been shadowing me like a shadow this whole trip. So we're coming up on Port of Ilwaco. So let's see what the wind is doing. It's coming from the south. And I think runway 28 is going to be... well, there's no good choice, but 28 is going to be the scenic one. So I'm going to land 28. So the airport is somewhere... Yeah, you can see the beacon down there. So I'm going to be coming through around the bay here, follow the shoreline, the beach, and go straight into the runway and then take off the other way. Wirkkala is somewhere in the hills here. It's a long time since I've been to Wirkkala, so I'm curious to see if I'm even able to find it. And the sun is setting very rapidly now, so I have mere minutes to get anywhere. I'm actually thinking I might do a touch and go on runway 10 at Port of Ilwaco here to save time. No, I'm not. I'm gonna stick with my plan to go around the bay, coming in, full stop, take out the other way. That's gonna be the more scenic choice. Wirkkala is a grass runway in the forest, so I might not even be able to find it in any way. So I'm not gonna waste my breath on that if I can't find it. Anyways. Oh yeah, so you, Melvin, you have been in this area as well. Yes, indeed. Orbx had a lot of wonderful freeware airstrips. So, Bowerman was one of those, right? I was just there maybe an hour ago. I grew up in this area, partly because of Orbx, and partly because of Flight Unlimited 2 and 3. So those were the days. So let's see, 22.9. Port of Ilwaco traffic, Beaver 524 Agafe is on left downwind runway 28 for full stop. Port of Ilwaco.
Ilwaco traffic, Charlie Golf Echo Bravo Romeo, behind that Beaver on downwind 28 for full stop.
My wingman. In the unlikely 152. Well, it's not that unlikely, I guess. The speed checks out, basically. This is Port of Ilwaco. Very interesting approach from the beach here. Well, it's not a beach, it's... what is this? I'm not even sure what it is. Anyway, let's start pulling flaps. But so, Melvin, did you ever go to Willapa Harbor? And you can probably say that you might have and didn't register because it was one of many airports. It doesn't stand out, so you might be very well forgiven for forgetting it. Port of Ilwaco traffic, Beaver 4 Kappa, turning left base, runway 28, full stop, Port of Ilwaco. Oh, good grief, I'm too high here. Port of Ilwaco traffic, Beaver, turning base to final runway 28, full stop, Port of Ilwaco. Yeah, this is a bad approach. And the crosswind. Turns out okay, but yeah, not ideal. All right. Westwood and Port Orchard. Let's see here. Port of Ilwaco traffic, Beaver, clear off. 28 to the left, Port of Ilwaco. Oh, Vashan, yeah, oh yes. I'm, well, you're probably not interested in having them anyway because you don't have the sim anymore. You don't use Flight Sim X, I guess. But I think I might have them on hard drive somewhere. Let's get on with it rather quickly here before the sun is setting. Let's see, is he clear now? He is clear. Perfect. Port of Ilwaco traffic, Beaver 4 Kappa taking off, runway 10, straight of departure, Port of Ilwaco. Let's pour the coals to it.
Charlie Golf Echo Bravo, right behind that Beaver.
He's indeed right behind that Beaver. Yes, traffic, indeed. Ha! Okay, let's get those flaps all the way up. And unmelt the engine. Hello, good fixins. Mr. Beaver, indeed, I'm finally back in the Beaver. In Washington, where it belongs. Actually, my Beaver belongs better in Oregon, and Oregon is right there, on the other side of the bay here. This is Astoria, on the northwest coast of Oregon, and I'm on the southwest southwest part of Washington State. Headed for the wonderfully sounding airport called Wirkkala, which has a runway that is north-south, which is perfect. 3,000 feet of grass. I can like that. Yeah, I'm exploring as many of the bush fields on the southwest coast of Washington as I'm able to before the sun is setting, and then I'm headed to my absolute favorite airfield in this area, and probably one of my top 5 airfields, which is Willapa Harbor. Let me show you quickly here. So as I said, southwest Washington. So Olympia's up here. Seattle is up there. I'm right here, and Willapa Harbor, 2 Sierra Niner. Look it up, or better yet, stay with me for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and have a look at the airport when I get there. You'll probably not understand why I like it so much, because it's just a normal paved runway with a little bit of a taxiway and a ramp. I just like it. I really love that airport. But first comes Wirkkala. And before that, I'm gonna switch to the rear tank. This airport is going to be a bit of a difficult prospect to find, I think, because the sun is setting now, and it's situated at 35 feet. So it's going to be behind these mountains here. So whatever sun it could have gotten from the sunset here is going to be shaded over. And it's just a grass runway in the middle of nowhere. Fixie indeed. I should start experimenting with those sound effects that you have. Although I should probably not have recordings of your family yelling into the microphone. Fixie. That would be bad. That would be stealing.
I see the runway just below.
Okay, so we have just below. Let me have a look. So my wingman has spotted the runway, perhaps. I see something down here. I see a road. So there is that. Is that the airfield?
About 9 o'clock now.
Yeah, that is... Yeah, got it. Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna go on the left down here. So, let me do 2929. Wirkkala traffic, Beaver 524 Kappa is on a left downwind for the south runway, Wirkkala. Full stop. Do full stop and all the way to the end, and then take off the other way. Willapa Harbor, by the way, is just behind that hill here. It's kind of in that little inlet over there. So let's start pulling power and getting down here. So I see a road crossing the runway here. I can land right inside the forest here and roll the way down to the road, but it looks like the I can cross the road actually. Yeah. JFO. Now, who are you talking about now? Is that something I should know about? Fixie? Okay, let's pull the full flaps. Thus, full RPM. Wirkkala traffic, Beaver 524 Gaffa turning left base, runway south. Wirkkala. Oh! So you've got a sound guy, Melvin. Oh, look at that. The sun is setting behind the mountain here. A little bit too early on the turn here.
Traffic.
Yes, thank you. Wirkkala traffic, Beaver, is on a short final runway south, Wirkkala. It's not even south, I mean it's runway 15 or something. Well, it's pointing roughly to the south. Ah, look at this glorious sunset. And it feels like I have a headwind here, so it was a good choice coming in this way. Thank you. Farm down here. A very tempting road. See if I can get in between the trees here. Come on, settle down. Excellent. Look at this, though. This is almost like stepping into downwind sim airport. Wirkkala traffic, Beaver 4 Gulf is clear of the south runway to the left side. Wirkkala. And CG is coming in as well. Isn't that right, people? Isn't this like stepping into downwind sim airport? Is there something on the table here? I mean, it might be him have created this airport. I don't know. It has the flavor to it. It's on the org freeware section, so Whiskey Alpha 01 Wirkkala. Or Wirkkala. I have no idea. Anyways, let's go to Willapa Harbor. So, and that's going to be a pretty simple prospect. Just follow the road here, Highway 101, around the bay here, to Willapa Harbor. And I'm going to be, I think I'm going to be landing runway 2, I'm going to aim for 29er. If not, the wind is too crazy. Anyways, Wirkkala. That's where I'm leaving. Wirkkala traffic, Beaver 524 Kafe, taking off the north runway, Wirkkala. See, CG is over there. This is kind of overgrown here, isn't it? What is this? I saw some lights over there. Oh, that's a car. Good. See ya, folks.
Traffic.
That'll be CG coming up behind me. He's really good at keeping his distance, as in keeping it the distance very close. Oh yeah, your grandson. That's who JFO is. Okay. Yep, you better pay people for their work, especially when it's being published for the whole world, like those sounds are. Don't underestimate the importance of having your stuff spread around. Basically my actually there's some comparison to that to what I'm doing. I work as a pianist, and I changed my salary based a little bit not on the amount of work but also the publicity of the event that I'm playing at. So if it's a tiny gathering of people, you know, a private performance, I would charge differently than when it's a public engagement. So not because of the workload, but because of the exposure. So, Melvin, you are a bit of an international streamer. You must know. You have people watching from Norway. So, you better pay your sound people, right? I guess you do. You pay your grandson with treats, as I do my nephew and niece. Actually, I pay my nephew and niece with time spent playing Minecraft, which they always beg me to do. Anyways, now we're headed back up to Willapa Bay, which is the one just in front of me here. So we should be seeing the beacon of Willapa Harbor Airport very soon here. Should get some lights on here, I think. So that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, fuel situation is fine. It's not great, but I have basically full rear tank. I found that flying this plane with a very aft CG is how I fly it best. I like a heavy tail so that I can yeah, get that down. Probably not the best for cruise performance because I tend to be slower than most people flying other Beavers because of my CG. But I like the the way the plane handles when the CG is close to the aft limit. Yeah, looking at what I've got for wind now, I think... well, actually, let's have a look at this. So, 2-9er is the one I want to land at. The wind is coming from the southwest. Southeast, rather. What? It's coming from the southwest. It's basically coming directly from the south. Aft is supposed to be faster. Is it? Well, in the Beaver. Well, this plane might be slower because the engine is tired. So that's another reason. Because this plane has... what does it say? Oh, I'm getting close to celebration here. 664.6 hours. You know what that means? In just shy of 2 hours, I'm gonna have to celebrate the devil that this plane is. Anyways, that number is has been reset. The engine hours are maybe 150 hours more, so I've got about 800 hours on this airframe. But the engine is... no, the engine, I mean, has more hours than the airframe has. It's an old engine. So what my point is that the engine is due for a refurbishment of some sort. It doesn't really have the power that it used to have. So that might be the reason that I'm lagging behind people when I'm flying with other Beavers. But I have a feeling that also my loading scheme and my aft CG is making this particular plane slower. That is kind of wallowing. That's kind of slightly behind the drag curve. So anyways, what I just found is that I will have a bit of a crosswind that is not going to be resolved in any meaningful way. It's going to be crosswind regardless of what I do. It's going to be from the coast here, basically. The airport is just over there. It's going to be there, I think. I don't see a beacon, though. Maybe I'll see it when I get around the corner here. You will see that I'm very close. So, you can actually call on the CTAF here. Willapa Harbor traffic, Beaver 524 Agatha is 8 miles to the southwest, 2,500 feet. Inbound to land, full stop, Willapa Harbor. And I didn't say runway because I don't know. I don't know where I'm landing because I don't know what the wind really wants me to do. For me, the scenic approach is runway 29er. So I might actually do that. 3,000 feet of good asphalt, so it doesn't really matter as far as tailwind goes that much. It's more or less how favorable it will be in terms of crosswind. I'm thinking that a left crosswind will be better. And, here's a little bit of a teaser for something that is coming up. I'm working on creating a tail dragger 101 video with Beaver, but which should be kind of it should be suitable for everyone. Detailing a lot of the things I've learned. Not that I know everything, but I learned a lot of it. This plane can really bite you, as you probably know. And one of the things is that if you do a wheel landing and then the tail comes down, the gyroscopic effect will tend to draw you to the right for once, which is usually your plane will go to the left, but the gyroscopic effect on the lowering of a tail wheel, a tail dragger, will tend to draw you a little bit to the right. So if I have a left crosswind, which wants to push my tail to the right, a wheel landing will be better because of that gyroscopic effect. It's not the big effect, so it's not like it will combat crosswind with that, but it's a factor, because if I was landing with a right crosswind, where the tail would be pushed to the left, the gyroscopic effect would make it worse. So there are all these small factors that kind of conspire. So I think I'm gonna go for that. So 2-9er it is. Also it's scenic, so it's probably more like a I'm trying to justify me wanting to land runway 29er. That's fine. Now what the hell is this? Is it a cruise ship or is this an aircraft carrier? It's an aircraft carrier. I know I should want to go to land on that. No, thank you. I'll do it some other time, maybe. But I'm going to try to be serious. Willapa Harbor traffic. Beaver 524 Akafa is 3 miles to the west, descending through 2,300, entering the 45 for the left downwind, runway 29er full stop, Willapa Harbor. So, it's probably going to be difficult to see right now though, but that's the airport, and it's not anything special. It's just a runway and a taxiway, goes all the way around, and a ramp. That's it. Yet, it is one of my favorite airports of all time. And I have no rational reason for why this is. Oh, now it's really going dark here. So I hope you can still see what's going on here. It's a good thing that there is at least some lights here on the runway of the airport. The yeah, let's get the radar call here first. Willapa Harbor traffic. Beaver 5 to Wakava, left downwind runway 29er full stop. Willapa Harbor. The video that I want to create, the tail dragger 101. I think I will actually do that at this airport just to showcase it properly. Okay, pull the flaps. So you will be able to see it in daytime as well. This airport is really gorgeous. Willapa Harbor traffic, Beaver 4 Alpha, turning left. Base, runway 29er, full stop. Willapa Harbor. Okay, full flaps, and I've got full RPM set. Willapa Harbor traffic, Beaver 4 Alpha, turning final, runway 29er, full stop. Willapa Harbor.
Short final runway 29.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not bad looking, is it? Okay, so wheel landing. So plunk it down on the wheels. hold it. The wheels. Oh, good grief. And then tail down. And I think I missed the one. There's a midfield taxiway turnoff point that I just missed. Oh well. Willapa Harbor traffic. Beaver is rolling out to the end. Runway 29er, Willapa Harbor. Okay, flaps can come up.
Harbor traffic, Charlie Golf Echo Bravo, Romeo, short final 29.
That's good. Willapa Harbor traffic. Beaver for Alpha, clear off 29er to the right. Willapa Harbor. There we have CG coming in. Someone just turned the lights out here. Well, I have a shortcut for turning on lights inside the plane here. Try to avoid crashing into him. I can turn off the strobes so I don't blind him completely. Just gonna fling the plane into this little spot here, I think. Benefit of tailwheel is I can do things like this. Don't think it was a perfect parking, but it was not monstrous either. Well, it was monstrous, but you know, I'll take it. So, parking brake. And I'm going to turn off the cabin lights here now. And I'll start shutting down. Thanks for joining me, CG.
That was fun, and thanks for leading. And I have to go eat now.
That sounds like a plan. I'm going to do the same. See ya.
See ya.
So now I can turn the lights back on so I can see what I'm doing here. Actually, I can do this. Slightly more light. Avionics off. And of course, now the glorious thing. Bring the RPM up a little bit. And then cut off. Glorious sound. Magnetos off, fuel off, and alternator off, lighting light, nav light, beacon, interior lights off, instrument lights off, flaps are already up, trim is set for takeoff, and master off. Let's do the walk around. Let's just bring on the red light. Post light. Chocks are on. Cover, I don't put that on unless it's really wintry. Chocks on. Tie down. Another tie down. Pitot cover, and last tie down. finished. I can shut down that one and look outside. That's CG shutting down his plane, going to eat, and here I am, having shut down. Now this is a glorious sight, isn't it? I love flight simulators, and this is why. And yeah, I'm happy about that. That was a good flight. As I said, there will be a Tail Dragger 101 coming, and I think I will film that right here at this airport. So keep a lookout for that in the week to come, I think. And for those who were watching and commenting, Fixie, Melvin, CG, who else was here? Edmund Stoner, who did work on the landing rate plugin to fix that negative G concept. Hope to hear from you about that. That's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. I will definitely try that. And Thomas, who had to go to bed because he's going to be up in a few hours to feed his equestrian fruity things. And also, of course, David, who were watching earlier. And Rob, who's watching earlier. Big company for a very long flight. Not that long, actually, just long in time. And a good amount of airports. And I hope this whets the appetite for people to go explore Washington. This is just a tiny corner of the state. And not even mountainous. It's got so many cool airports. So anyways, yeah, thank you, Edmund. And send me a copy of that plugin if you want to have me test it. That would be very, very good to have that G-meter fix. Anyways, thanks for watching, and good night, and good luck.